Hi, my name is Lucy Woods. This is my sign name that comes from the letter L and curly hair. I'm going to be discussing political action, and I'm using the signs politics and active because there are many different types of political action. There are marches, demonstrations, protests, and occupations. I myself am involved in politics. I'm a white hearing woman. I have brown wavy hair that I'm wearing down. I'm wearing a black shirt and I have a white background. Through my research, I want to change the way the interpreting field views neutrality. My research question is, how does the setting of a political action affect the expectation that the interpreter remains neutral? My literature review is divided into three parts. The first is about interpreters at Deaf President Now. The summary of my research is as follows. Interpreters and protesters at DPN shared a collective identity. They saw themselves as part of the same group. The next portion of my literature review concerns protest and social justice. The result of my analysis is that those who are directly affected by a political action are the same people who best interpret it. For example, a BLM protest is best served by a Black interpreter, and a protest for trans rights ought to be interpreted by a trans person. The final portion of my literature review concerns interpreter neutrality. My review of the literature shows that maintaining interpreter neutrality entirely, not aligning yourself with one party over another, and staying neutral and remaining unbiased is impossible. The interpreter will always end up aligning themselves with one party over another to a degree. Additionally, trying to remain completely unbiased is not often the best way to create an interpretation. The research I propose involves purposive sampling of stakeholders and conducting semi-structured interviews with them. There are four main groups that I would like to conduct interviews with. The stakeholders are deaf protesters, for example, Michael A. Jin. The second group is community organizers, people who set up these political actions. One prominent figure in Rochester is Stanley Martin. The third group is volunteer medics. Those are the people who show up to a protest to keep people safe. Rochester Street Medics is one group that does this. The fourth group is those who interpret protests. For example, Rochester protest interpreters. I plan to record these interviews, transcribe them, analyze the data, and find commonalities, shared ideas, messages, and opinions. My anticipated results are that the stakeholders that I interview will not expect the interpreter to remain neutral. However, they will expect the interpreter to be there primarily to interpret and not to protest. This research will benefit all four groups of stakeholders. They will all know the reason the interpreter is there, that they support the political action they are volunteering to interpret, but also that they are not there to protest, they're there to interpret. Interpreters themselves will also be able to adjust their interpretation with the knowledge that they are not expected to remain neutral in this setting, resulting in a better interpretation. Here are my references. Thank you.